Hey, I am back with another video for jw.org. I wanted to put a message up here before I go ahead and do the video to please like, share, and subscribe. You never know if someone else could use this information that I'm about to share. It may be able to help you, and may be able to help the next person. So please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Please be interactive because I be needing this for these JW.org videos, And I don't care if the comments are like negative or whatever because I respect everybody's opinion. I understand that. But thank you for tuning in. This video is about 35-40 minutes. So for all of you guys that have an attention span for this type of information, tune in. Okay, I'm back again. I had a couple of technical difficulties. Y'all excuse the sage smoke, but then I am unapologetically letting this flow because I need this right now because I'm about to get ready to do another jw.org video. Okay, I was going through my videos, and I guess more like whenever my body or my spirit seems to need counseling, then I go to this right here to my platform and I start talking about different situations having to do with Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, last year I noticed that I had did a video on September 3rd, so I looked at that video, and I told you guys, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna do another video. Y'all know I had kind of like not really doing these videos like that much. I was doing them probably like 7 or 8 years ago, and it got so draining. The Jehovah's Witness situation. If you guys, I'll leave the links for my other videos in there, okay, the playlist, okay, because I do have a whole playlist for anyone that is interested in becoming a Jehovah's Witness. You're thinking about it, contemplating, you've been approached by one. I do have some other videos. This video may be long and it may be short, so it depends on how this goes, okay, because this is not scripted at all. So the reason why I was doing this video today is because I want to know how the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and people that have been affiliated over the years with Jehovah's Witnesses, I want to know how you guys are dealing with the COVID-19 situation that's going on. I'm going to go into how I'm dealing with it and how, my family, because I hadn't even talked to you guys. I don't even think the last time that I spoke to you guys, I was even speaking with my family, but just to let that be known, they are all cut off. Don't be afraid to cut toxic people out of your life. It doesn't even matter if they're family or not. Like I said, when I did my last video, this is like a disclaimer. Just because these people are Jehovah's Witnesses does not make them bad people. You can grow up into that religion and it can be a very loving people in that religion that are, in there, and, they believe what they believe, but they're doing it lovingly, okay? I didn't grow up in the religion with it being loving, okay? That's because I grew up in a home that was an abusive home / a JW home. So that's like super, like, good gracious. So the last time I basically was probably still talking to my family, but I had some things going on, which I don't think I went into that, but I had some things going on personally through my family. And once I was like, wow, the family that I have, these are the people that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses either. They just like really are toxic people, and they just like really suck to be, it sucks to be part of that family, put it like that. So yeah, the whole entire family, I probably got like some baby cousins on both sides of the family, but for the most part, the whole entire, my side of my maternal side, cut off. Just cut off, because like, it's like, sometimes you have to go ahead and cut out toxic relationships. And so with that being said, let me go back to The original reason, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to know how people are doing that are Jehovah's Witnesses, you are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and or people that were affiliated with the organization. May it be newly affiliated or years ago, if you're contemplating on it. I always tell people, no matter what you do, make sure that you do your research. Don't just go hop into any type of religion and rely on what anyone says. And make sure that you do your own research. Never let someone tell you that you cannot do research, especially if it's going to be something that's put out here for you to, you're learning from them. They're going to be a big portion of your life. Make sure that you are doing your research. Make sure you're asking questions. If there's ever a chance that you're not able to ask questions, that should be a red flag right there. Should always be able to ask questions. I'm feeling right now that with everything that's going on, and I'm burning the stage because I need to have good energy around me when I'm speaking about this. But my thing about it is that with COVID and everything going around, when I was growing up, I would be thinking that my mom would be like telling us right there, like if COVID was back then, I think my mom would be like, see, Jehovah, this is what's gonna happen, you know, this is the end, you know, so get ready for it, you know, because it does feel like the end, you feel me? Especially when that's been like beat into your brain the whole time you've been living. And I heard that from the time that I can remember, the end, you know, the end is coming, the end. You know, those are words that are like in my self-conscious all the time. You feel me? And no matter how hard I try to get those out, because of being brainwashed into a certain type of thinking, I'm always gonna have that unless I get hypnotized or something maybe and get it taken out or whatever. But I would love to get that to happen, like where I wouldn't even think about anything like that. But I would be so scared right now if I was living back then and COVID was out there. It was COVID-19. But then you have to think about the different things that were like diseases and so forth that were going on back then. You had in the 80s, what was it? It was AIDS, HIV. Okay, that was a virus that was killing multiple people. Now that was the end for a whole lot of people's worlds back then, you feel me? And it still brings into, you know, people's worlds. Maybe not as much as it did back then, but it still would bring it into the world. So we had things like that going along. And so this is how you are able to be got when things like this come about, because you're vulnerable. I'm gonna say this, like for people that were ex-Jehovah's Witnesses or people that are they're trying to find their way, and all of a sudden they see something like this big collapse that's happening in the world right now, and they're like, oh gosh, like a Jehovah's Witness approaches them and they tell them like, hey, it's the end of the world, you know, we've been preaching about this, and you know, now this is it right here. Be mindful, like I said. There have been plenty of plagues and viruses out here for centuries, decades, you know. There's always something. It was SARS, and I think it's like when it's 2020, it was 1990. Everything that ends with a 0, I believe, is always something. You feel me? But anyway, if I was back then, like I said, I would be like scared to death. You feel me? This whole COVID thing too, you know, I want to know, like, how's it? Have you guys had any calls from your families or anything? You feel me? Because y'all know I'm still rocking it. I still have my daughter. I still have my granddaughter. That is my family right there. You feel me? So yeah, I hear from my family on a daily basis. But people that literally have family that You are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. You no longer affiliate yourself with that because you think outside of their box, okay? So you're no longer sitting back and you don't care that they're judging you, okay? The last that I had known that the Bible says is, no, we shouldn't be passing judgment. And a lot of people do the very thing that's, they're told not to, but then they're busy, trying to critique the way that you live and everything. So I totally was like, just, like really, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a little off on this too, because sometimes these conversations about the JWs, the Jehovah's Witnesses, I kind of like, I'd be thinking and I'd be like, wow, like I really was in that mindset back then, and I didn't think fully, and I didn't think with my own mind. And now that I'm trying to think with my own mind, I'm trying to cope with certain things. So when I'm talking to you and I may lose my train of thought, it may seem, but it's because I'm like thinking like, dang, I really used to be affiliated with people that were running and brainwashing my mind. It's a lot the same way that things are going on in the world right now. People's minds are being brainwashed. These are businesses that are doing that because religion is a business. That's one of the top businesses in the world. They bring in a lot of money. So businesses can brainwash you. Corporations, let's use that word, corporations, they can brainwash you to think a certain way. And so you're just like, wow, I really used to think like that. But people that have families and everything that they used to deal with when they were Jehovah's Witnesses, how are you feeling out here in this world? If you don't have that family anymore, have you built yourself a family? Have you do you reach out to other groups? Jehovah's Witnesses, ex-JW groups or whatever. I actually need to find one myself. I used to be in one, but sometimes the online thing just gets a little bit overwhelming, so then you like forget about it. But I would just like to know how people are dealing with that, because like me personally, nobody's gonna like call me, even if I wonder would they. But when I went ahead and disconnected myself from the family that I was born into, I just cut everything off, you feel me? I didn't worry about I changed my number. I had that number for like probably over 20 years. And I disconnected it. Got a whole nother number. That's how serious it was. And it took me a long time to do that. I'm talking about to cut off people that I knew and then again didn't know. People that would call me and then maybe they wouldn't, and I wouldn't hear from them. People that were supposed to be unconditionally loving me, and so that I could actually hand out the same. But those are not the type of things that actually happen. So, I just want to know if you do have someone, if you have had someone, it's always good to know that you're not, if you don't have anyone, it's always good to know that you're not the only one out there. You're not lonely. Well, you may be lonely, but there's others out here as well that are dealing with the same loneliness that you are dealing with. And it may not be per se because they never have anyone around them. It's maybe because they would have liked to have had, maybe that mother or that father around. That would probably be a great feeling if you can have a mother or a father around that you didn't get a chance to have around and you haven't had around. But, they bore you into this world, and so you're here and you're just like, wow, I'm just here. So those are the type of things I'd be wondering, like, with COVID, you really need to be in good with, family members, your family members that you are the closest to, which I would say my immediate family, or your immediate family. Those are the people that you need to be close to, but these are a lot of times are the people that the JWs pull away from you if you are not dealing with them, if you're not affiliated with them, if you're not believing the same as them, if you go against anything that they're saying, they'll shun you. Okay, so around COVID, you may be in a place or a predicament where you're shunned. You might be disfellowshipped. Okay, for all of you that don't know what the disfellowship means, or if you do, but the ones that don't, that is, it's like a punishment. Like you're a grown person and say you have all these friends that you've been affiliated with. You can go in, you can speak to them whenever you get ready. Whenever you come into this congregation, which they call a kingdom hall. So whenever you come in there, you can speak to everybody. Now say that you as a grown person, or maybe you as a young adult that grew up in there and you decided to get baptized. Say if you happen to do something like, say if you commit adultery, what you would do is you would go to these elders, okay? And you will, I've never been baptized either, but I just know the process. But you're gonna go to these elders and you're gonna basically let them know what you did. Now, if you repent, then I think you're pretty good. You may be on reproof, I think that's what they call it, where you're reproved. And I kind of, this part is kind of iffy, but I think when you're being reproved, you just can't answer questions throughout the kingdom hall. You can't have talks and you can't like go knocking on people's doors. I don't know if they even do that anymore, but you can't do that. You're just reproved. So it's basically like a semi-punishment, I guess. Now, if you get disfellowshipped, that's the kicker right there. Now, you got your family that you in the meeting with all the time. So you go to the meeting, you're grown, but you sit with your family at the meeting. You got some homeboys in there that you cool with. You got some homegirls that you cool with. You got, you know, people that you've known for your life and you've gotten to, you know, get to know them and whatever. But anyway, you're disfellowship. You done went and messed up and told them your business, you know, because that's what you got to do when you're a Jehovah's Witness. You need to tell them your business, okay? So you go tell them your business. I guess it's just like the Catholics when you go in, what they call it, confession or whatever. So you go there, but I don't know if they get punishments and stuff. But anyway, so you're basically telling them this. You feel like, hey, look, I did it. I'm probably gonna do it again. I'm still gonna see this whoever I'm seeing, and yeah, that's what it is. So you're now disfellowship. Now you might be sorry about it, but if they don't feel like you're as sorry as they want you to be or whatever, if they're not feeling that you wholeheartedly sorry or whatever, then you're gonna be disfellowship. Okay, all those people that you was cool with, whatever, you're not gonna be able to sit with them, chill with them. Definitely you won't be able to chill with your family like that. Your homeboys, your homegirls, all of them are gonna turn their backs on you, okay? Guess where you're gonna be sitting at if you decide to come in there? You're gonna be in the back of that kingdom hall. And it's gonna be like more like leprosy. Like it's, yeah, that's what it's like. Like you're gonna feel like you're somebody with leprosy. Everybody's gonna be looking at you and they can't speak to you, and you know, basically it's more like this is the way I felt when I grew up. It was more like everybody's whispering about that person, like, dang, I wonder what they did, you know? These are grown people too, you feel me? This is the reason why I say that it's a cult. A lot of people have come on some of my posts and they like, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're just like, you know, bashing me and saying it's not a cult and stuff like that. But be it as you may, you know, you may not feel like you're in a cult, but even if it is a cult, any cult or any organization that turns you against your family or turns your family against you, and they're trying to regulate everything that goes on in your life, that's a brainwash, you feel me? That's exactly what it is. It's a brainwash. If it's an organization and it's a cult, you feel me? So if you have, those are the things that you go through, okay? Them, you having to tell them what you did or whatever. I mean, I feel like if you're religious like that, you are a godly person, you're very religious, you're gonna pray, you're gonna ask God to forgive you, or whoever you pray to. But when you're religious, you're gonna pray to God and you're gonna ask him to forgive you. I mean, am I correct? So if once he forgives you, then to me, you should go on about your life. You feel me? Try to do better, move the same way that you should move. You know, if you feel like you should move that way, then move that way. You feel me? You shouldn't have to go and talk to some grown men in the congregation, why, you know, for them to pass judgment on you. I just don't. That's why I never got baptized, because I knew from such a younger age that it wasn't for me, and I just didn't. I didn't understand. See, my thing was, when I was that age, I was like, okay, so, and I was like this too. I'm like, all right, so, okay, how did Jehovah get started? You feel me? I was asking stuff like this, you know, who had him? You know, I just wanted to know. I was curious about this, very curious about it, and I would get in trouble for asking questions about it. Basically, it was just basically don't ask questions. Now, you can raise your hand all day or all evening and answer questions, and you can underline what they want you to answer and comment like they want you to answer, but other than that, you're not doing any, hey, well, what does this mean? You feel me? You're not raising your hand and saying, what does this mean? Because that's not allowed. So that's why I always tell people that are interested in becoming Jehovah's Witness, you're thinking about studying with them or whatever, make sure that you do your research. Make sure that this is going to be the type of lifestyle that you want, because it is going to be a lifestyle change. If you are used to, like, a lot of people not doing very much of anything in most states right now, but if you're used to living a lifestyle where you're going out with your friends, maybe you do things like, maybe on Wednesdays you go and get you some food with your friends or whatever. It's like a girls' night or a guys' night or whatever. You can forget that, okay? If you are a person that goes to bars or whatever, probably can forget that too. I don't know. Jehovah's Witnesses may go to bars and stuff now. You know, I don't know, because it's so much has changed. You know, millennium witnesses. I mean, I've seen so much. I'm looking from that outside in though, so I don't know everything, but I see a lot of things that have changed. And you know, it's certain people that you know that are witnesses, and they do things a certain way, you know, that we weren't able to do when we were growing up. So I know we wouldn't have been able to go to any type of bar. If you think you get ready to be hanging out with like any of your good friends or whatever that are not trying to affiliate themselves with the Jehovah's Witnesses, you can forget that, okay? Anything that's basically has anything to do with fun, I would say, you can forget it. If it does not have anything to do with Jehovah's Witnesses, you can forget it. So always make sure you do your research. You know, research these people that you are going to give your life over to, because to me, that's what you're going to do. I've done a video before, and I have let you know, like, exactly how my when I was growing up, like, I think Friday may have been the only free day that we had, but Friday still was the day to get ready for Saturday, because Saturday is the day that we had to get ready for knocking on people's doors, which I hated. And then Sunday was our Sunday meeting. After the meeting, we went out and filled service to knock on some more doors. Monday or either Tuesday were Bible studies. That's a Bible study night. So you go do the book. No, it's called a book study. That was a book study night. So you go, and one of those 2 nights, your congregation has one of those nights. Okay, if you're not on one of those nights, you're probably going to be studying for that night, whatever night that you don't, the opposite of that night. And then that was Monday or Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday was the theocratic ministry school. So whichever night that you didn't go, you're going to be basically studying for your, you know, the night that you get. And then you're back to Friday. Okay, so it wasn't a lot of extra time to be thinking you was going to be chilling out with nobody else other than the Jehovah's Witnesses. And anybody that, cause I be kind of like tripping, because sometimes I see people, like, when I do make the videos or whatever, and I go back and read the comments and everything, and they're like, why are you sitting up here lying and you just making up stuff? everyone has different experiences with different situations, okay? I'm letting you know my experience, okay? I cannot speak for anyone else's situation or experiences unless I know it personally. And a lot of things that I tell you up here, I do know personally, or I've went through it personally, okay? So it's like really rude for those witnesses to come up here and just like all the time, you know, when I was doing a lot of the videos and they just like bash me, tell me I'm lying, but I don't have a reason to lie, you feel me? And there's so many other people, and it's crazy too, because sometimes if I look at them, I'm like, dang, it's like I'm looking at myself talking, you know? I'm hearing them, and it's me talking. Because like, imagine you hearing other people say that, oh yeah, when I was growing up, you know, I would have to go in the hallway and sit whenever they were having any type of Halloween parties, any holiday parties. I'm in the hallway. That was me. Anything, I'm in the hallway or the library. Most of the time it was the hallway though. And then just imagine being bullied and stuff about, you know, about stuff like that. And feeling like you're in punishment. You didn't even do anything, but you getting bullied and you sat in the hallway because you are a Jehovah's Witness kid, and Jehovah's Witnesses kids do not get to partake in anything that's fun. I mean, to me, that's just my perspective. I felt like anything that was fun that did not have to do with the witnesses was definitely off limits. That's the way it was. So, me not have time to lie. Never have a time to lie. I just reflect. Sometimes I do, you know, I sit back and I'm like around times like this. This is, like I said, this is COVID. It would be nice to have family, blood family that, you know, call me up. Hey, how you doing with the, how's everybody? How's, you know, it would be nice. You feel me? It'd be nice to have a mom or a dad to be like, yo, what's good? You know, y'all good over there? Maybe we need to bunk up, everybody get together, you know, so we won't be so far apart, you know, just so we can be close, or, you know, something. You feel me? You don't even have to be that deep, you know, just a phone call. That would be really nice. Just to know that somebody was concerned, somebody cares, whatever. A lot of people had a hard time. I know, God knows I had a hard time since this COVID thing happened, because I know I had told you guys on maybe one of my first videos that I did about 6 or 7 years ago, and I was letting you guys know that, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, we were brought up not to get any type of education. This is what was told to us. No education, get yourself like, basically no education, because you're not going to do anything, but the end is going to be here. So you're going to be running. So basically don't get an education. So they didn't really teach us how to make it in this system. Even though we live out here in this world, we weren't taught. So, fortunately, I caught on and went ahead and went to school for hair, something that I love. But unfortunately, you know, I've been doing hair for like 8 years. So unfortunately, when this COVID thing happened, my business closed in March, officially was done in May. And, you know, that was like, wow, like, I was like, dang, like, I went to school for that. And, you know, I really, like, honestly, I don't do anything else, you feel me? I don't do anything else. I love doing hair, and that's what I had been doing. And I now I feel like, dang, everything that I, like, worked so hard to have is, you know, it's just, like, over with. Because, you know, I have my granddaughter, I have my daughter. We got a household, so it's like I have to protect that as far as, like, having a whole bunch of people sitting around me or whatever. I just can't have it. So, you know, and it was so many unnecessary and unfair things that happened around the time of the COVID. So yeah, so to keep my business going, I still have my product lines that I'm pushing, and, you know, I push my health things for health. I'll leave the links if you guys are interested in it. But my thing is not being able to, you know, this is what we should have been taught, since they had us, like, brainwashed and everything. Teach people about like multiple streams of income, because they damn sure told us about going to multiple people's doors. So how about teaching us, teach the people that you have now in your organizations how to cope in this world, in this system, because like once this COVID is over, your people need to not just know how to go to the Kingdom Hall again, but they need to know how to get up out of this mess. They need to know, like, you guys have, this is talking to the Jehovah's Witnesses. You have, and of course it's not going to be heard because they don't care, because it's a corporation. But with you having so many people, like, teach them how to live in this system. And that's something that Jehovah's Witnesses, the JW, they don't do that. It's more like they don't care. Okay, so you got people out here with no streams of income, and people that are depressed, and then you're and this is what happens when people grow up in cults and they're not really taught anything, and they just feel lost, because God knows I feel lost right now. It's a good thing that I do have some type of hustle in me that I was born with, so I can keep myself afloat. But it's just like it's just really bad growing up in that type of situation, being affiliated with those type of people. And then the aftermath. I think I did a video called The Aftermath. That was actually my last video I did, The Aftermath. This is probably going to be Aftermath too. What happens when you don't have anyone for COVID? No family for COVID. What happens? And that they're probably, the Jehovah's Witnesses are probably most definitely out telling everyone that this is the end of the world. Well, it's been the end of a lot of people's world because of this COVID. It's been the end of the world for a lot of people because of life, period. It's definitely been the end for a lot of people. I just say for everyone that is watching, I definitely wish you and your families the best in this time. I mean, this is really a stressful time for everyone, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, because I'm talking about it's everyone in the world, because, they always reflect just on the witnesses. I think I said it one time before, when the Haiti went down and they were flooded out and everything. And my mom was like, man, she was like, it was so many Jehovah's Witnesses over there that got killed. And I'm like, skirt? I was like, it's a whole bunch of people, human beings over there that got killed. Are you serious? Her only concern was the Jehovah's Witnesses. People out here are having a hard time. You feel me? People out here are stressed. People are out here struggling, trying to figure out what's going to be next. They might be trying to figure out what's going to be to eat. You got food shortages and everything going on. Now, these things have happened before. You feel me? They've happened before. But you have to just make sure that you are keeping yourself, I say, in a positive space. And keep people that are not positive and people that are toxic, keep them away from you. Keep them out of your energy. Again, if you are thinking about becoming a Jehovah's Witness, if you're deciding you're going to study with them, make sure to do your research. Do not allow anyone to tell you that you cannot ask questions. Questions are made to be answered. All right, you should never go into anything blinded, where you're going in eyes wide open, but there's no answers to any of the questions, and people frown down on you if you're asking questions. Make sure you take your notes. Take notes when you're going into this type of organization. Take notes. Be leery of bringing your kids around these people in the organizations, okay? Unfortunately, I didn't really have any, I was with a lot of people. We did go door to door with a lot of the different Jehovah's Witnesses and so forth. Fortunately, I didn't run into any of those elders doing anything to me. But I did have one of the sons, and I was way younger and he was way older. And, I didn't know what was going on, but, he got out of bounds, touched me, and wasn't, he shouldn't have. Of course, I reported it. But those type of things are just like the black households, and I do say the black households because I don't know anything about the other households. But those are the things in black households that are tucked under the rug, so they do the exact same thing. You feel me? They tuck it under the rug. So be leery about where you're bringing your kids around if you have kids and you get ready to go into this organization, because they protect their child molesters, okay? They do protect their child molesters. They have elders that are child molesters, and I do know that personally. So just be mindful, be safe during this COVID time, this COVID period. Just understand that any corporations that are big and huge like this, they're basically out for that money, okay? They're out to control your mind, and they are out for that money. And you can be brainwashed, so don't think you can't. You can definitely be brainwashed. I really just wanted to do this video has been going on for 35 minutes, so I want to go ahead and end this. Again, who knows when I'll do another JW video. I haven't really gotten deep into them anymore over the last couple of years because I'm just not going to do it anymore. But, oh yeah, this is my logo, I don't know if y'all can see it up there, but it's Zhang's. It stands for Zion's All Natural Hair Growth Solutions. So that's the line that I had worked on. My daughter actually made that logo. Is it high or what? Let me move it up here. I don't know if that's going to show to y'all, but yeah. So she made that for my hair product that I have. Like I said, I'll leave the links down there. If you guys want to, if you want to purchase any products or whatever, I'll leave all of my information down there. Let you know that for the JWs, like if you're up here and you're trying to make sure that say if you had a job or whatever, you had a business that you were running, all of a sudden it was just taken away from you. You strive to do everything you possibly could do to go ahead and stay afloat in this system. You finally figured out a way, and then it gets snatched away from you. So just try to keep your chin up. You feel me? Keep your chin up. Just understand that you are your universe. You can create inside of your universe whatever you want, okay? And you can. A lot of us speak it and then we don't do it, but write it down. Speak it. You don't need to speak it to other people per se. Speak it to yourself. Talk to yourself and make your moves, okay? Because you can create. You are a creator. So go ahead and make the best. Try not to depend on a job. Jobs are good, but try not to depend on a job. Try not to depend on just one stream of income, because that's what my problem is right there. That's why I feel that to create more than one stream of income. So, those are things that I'm working on right now. You feel me? I've had plenty of time. And I did have some of that time was downtime because I really was like whoa. Have a whole lot of business. I don't know if y'all look at my old videos, you'll know when I started going to school and everything. And I'm like, yo, like, what in the world? You feel me? All of a sudden, it's life. It happens. So, we just have to move on from there and just make sure that you try. Just try to make sure you get more than one income. And don't depend on just one. Stay in the books when you're going to research. Stay asking questions, okay? My personal advice is, if you were to be invited to a Jehovah's Witness Bible study or anything, I would tell you no, you should not, okay? Don't. That's from my perspective. That's my opinion. People can take it how they want, but I would tell you don't join a cult, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a cult, and you won't believe how much your life is going to change. I'm so glad that I didn't get into it while I was an adult. I'm glad I got out of it before, because I would have been even more jacked up, I think. I don't know. Who knows? But about to end this video. You guys definitely take care. Stay safe. Keep your immune system up. That's why I'm drinking me some sea moss tea right now. I do have sea moss too, so I have this link in there too. But yeah, keep your mind, body, spirit, your soul. Keep all of that right. Burn your sage to keep your energies clear around you. Clear them out. You know, you just got to look at things on a more positive outlook when you have been surrounded by so much toxic energy for most of your life. And then you just got to find your place, find your peace, and never let anyone disturb that again. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be religious people, it could be your family, it could be some so-called friends, whatever it is. Don't let anyone disturb your peace. And we're going to leave out with that. Peace. I'm going to do this video however long or however short. I'm about to fall too. Because I'm not